It's the second largest conference that AAAS convenes after the annual meeting. So we spend over about a year and about 14 months planning for this. I'm really glad that we're able to be back in person this year after 2 years of not having the ERN conference. Our last conference was in 2020. So I just want to thank you all for joining us, and then just go over some quick introductions for our team. So I'll start with Claire. Are you all not hearing me? Okay, let me try. Is this better?
Yes.
Is this better?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on.
It's a little better.
Let me know if you can't hear me.
Gotcha.
Is that a little better? I'll try to switch back and forth between mics. Is this one better?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Please let me know if I go back out again. So we'll start with introductions. We'll start with Claire, and then Jonathan and Teresa, our lead judge and assistant lead judge, and then Chrissy and Dawn from Pongos.
Hello, I'm Claire. I'm the project associate for ERN, and I also help out with HBCU Making an Innovation.
Hello, everyone. This is Jonathan Lambright. I am professor and interim AVP at Savannah State University, and I've been working with IRIS and AAAS on ERN probably for the last 12 years, I think. And happy to be here for another year, and thank you for allowing me to serve. I appreciate it.
Hello, everyone. I'm Teresa Shakespeare, Associate Professor and Chair of Biology at Savannah State. I'm serving as a new Assistant Lead Judge with Jonathan Lambright here at Savannah State. So this is my first time coming on board. It's a pleasure to meet anyone, and looking forward to seeing you all in person.
Chrissy and Dawn.
Hey, this is Chrissy. I'm with Pongos Interactive, and we built the judging app, which is now the judging website. And then Dawn, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, this is Dawn Smith. I'm with Pongos, and I'll be showing you the app a little bit later.
Okay, thanks everybody. Hopefully you all can hear me. Claire, I forgot to record. Remind me.
I'm recording on my end.
Okay, so I don't need to record on the cloud, or you got it?
I got it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I will go ahead and share my screen and go over some information. This is the information that Claire updated today a little while ago, so you should see that packet attached to the meeting invitation. So just a very short agenda. I'm going to start out going over some general judge information. It's the same info that I included when I invited you all in October, but most people never read through those details. So I will go over those very briefly. And then you can read all of them. They're attached in the meeting invitation as well. I just mentioned the judge assignments. We're still working to finalize those. I am still trying to finalize judges and then hand that over to Pongo so they can upload your assignments to the judging website. And then I will also send an email with those assignments to all of you so you have those. Then I'll go over the judge room setup. It's like it always has been, but I'm going over this in case we have new judges. And then I'll hand it over to Jonathan to kind of talk through our process for the closing awards banquets and what your role will be there. Okay, so just some updates since our last 2020 ERN conference. We've always had 10 disciplines that students can present, give an oral or poster presentation in. For this year, I added 4 new categories. So the new categories are convergent sciences, data sciences, forensic sciences. I added neuroscience, and then nanoscience previously was combined with physics. So it was physics/nanoscience, but this is a new category, nanoscience/material sciences. So we now have a total of 14 disciplines that students can present in instead of the 10 we've had in the past. So just going over some of the same information that I already sent, but the ERN conference will be from February 9th to the 11th at the Omni Shoreham in Washington, D.C. Some of the key sessions that judges need to attend, we always have our judge orientation on that Thursday, on that opening day, and it'll be from about 4 to 5:30. We may go to 5:45, but I know not everybody can arrive in time. So we will be there from 4 to 5:45. And the judge room will be the Hampton Ballroom for the duration of the conference. So that orientation will be in that room. And then we have the same 4 presentation schedules that we've always had for ERN, 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday. Presentation session 1, and that's for both orals and posters. That's from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Friday. Session 2 is from 4 to 6:30 p.m. on Friday. Session 3 is from 8 to 10:30 a.m. on Saturday. And session 4 is from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Saturday. At that time, any posters will be taken down and we'll start dismantling everything. Also on Saturday, a key session is the judge lunch and deliberation. So during this time between 12:30 and 2:30 p.m., we'll provide lunch for the judges in the judges room. And that is also the time that you'll have to actually deliberate on all of your scoring and everything at that time. And we have some leeway, like if that goes over an hour or so, that's completely fine, because sometimes it takes time to kind of hash out who you want to get awards for, but this is the kind of allotted time. This can easily go into 3:30. Jonathan and Teresa, just letting you know if you need more time for that. And then our closing plenary on Saturday, we moved that up from 6 to 5:30 p.m. This closing awards banquet, and we'll talk about that a little bit later when we get to Jonathan. This closing awards plenary is divided into 2 halves. So for the first half, we'll have our typical kind of keynote AAAS leadership remarks. We're really excited to have Dr. Shavonda Jacobs-Young, the USDA director, is going to be our keynote speaker. And then we transition to the second half of that plenary, which is the awards banquet part. All 4 of our plenaries have meals associated with them. So all of those include meals. So you'll notice that we, typically like to get people in 30 minutes ahead of time so we can get through plating and serving 1,500 people. And so we usually allot about 30 to 45 minutes to get through all of that. And then we officially start our program. So these are all the key sessions that judges will need to participate in. Another note here, not all of you judges are assigned to each of 4 of these sessions. It's really based on the number of abstracts that were accepted in each of the disciplines. So just make a note that if you notice that you're only assigned to session 1 and not 2, 3, and 4. It's not that we don't love you, it's just we didn't get enough abstracts accepted in those disciplines. And there's a formula that I have to use to actually assign all of them to fit as many as possible. Another thing I'll mention about the assignments is that you'll notice when I show you an example of the 2020 assignments, because we have some disciplines that only had a few abstracts accepted, you'll notice that I had to combine undergrad and grad. I might have had to combine math and data science, just to make sure we don't have rooms where it's only one student presenting alone. So you may notice that some of these categories are combined for undergrad and grad, and some of the disciplines may be combined as well. This is just our agenda at a glance for the entire ERN conference. We'd be happy for you to, if you're not judging for a particular session, a presentation session time, feel free to check in on the other sessions at ERN. We definitely like for you to attend all 4 of the plenaries, because we really like to highlight you all, not just as judges, but as experts in the STEM field, and to really kind of talk and engage with our students throughout the conference. A big part of this conference is really building science identity and science self-efficacy, and just a community of support for these students. So you as judges play a big part in that. We'll have anywhere from 30 to 40 professional development workshops. We're also doing a professional societies fair, so students can talk directly with professional societies. So we have a lot of great things going on at this conference. We have 2 working groups that I started in 2019. One is a Students in STEM with Disabilities working group, and the other one is a Professional STEM Societies working group. So just make sure you take some time to check over the agenda. This information, the abstract submission guidelines, that was mostly important for the external reviewers that we had to review all the abstracts before we got to this stage. But we included this in your packet of information that's in the meeting invitation, just so you can see what they had to submit in order to be selected to present. So I'll let you all look through that at offline. Okay, so the next thing I want to go over quickly, again, this is in the packet, the presentation guidelines for posters and those for orals. So we will have posters like we've always had on poster boards. It'll be either 2 to a board, 1 on each side, or 4 to a board, 2 on each side. So these are dimensions and information that we're giving the students. What's important for you to know as judges so that you start and end on time is that for poster presentations, they'll have a total of 10 minutes. 5 minutes is for the student to present, give their presentation for their poster. There'll be about 2 minutes for judges to ask questions. And then I want to give you about 2 to 3 minutes for transition to move on to the next poster that you'll judge. And both oral and poster presentations, you'll be judging in groups of anywhere between 3 and 5. Okay, I want to move down to presentation guidelines for oral. So for oral presentation, there'll be a total of 15 minutes. 10 minutes for the student to present, about 2 minutes for questions from the judges, and then about 2 to 3 minutes for transition for the next presentation. So for orals, you will be grouped so that they'll just go back to back to back, and then they will go in order of the abstract numbers listed on the spreadsheet that I'll send you. So they'll just go in order. So as part of some of the prep that we'll be sending to students for orals, we'll make sure everybody tell them to arrive at least 15 minutes early. So all the presenters can load their slides, bring their flash drive, load their slides on the computer all at once. So you won't have to stop and do that when each student arrives. So we're asking them to all arrive no later than 15 minutes prior to the start of that session and have everybody load their slides at once. And then once you start, you would just go back to back to back until the end of that session. Okay, so the next thing I want to show is just the rubric. So this is the guide for how you will score each of the oral and poster presentations. And we will have hard copies of all of this information in the judging room. I just want to bring attention to what the rubric is. And you all can look over there over the next 2 weeks. And then the final thing I want to share is the actual scoring form. So we'll have hard copies of these forms because some judges told us it's better to just be able to write on something. And then once they get back to the judge room, they can just enter all of their scores that way. So we will have copies on hand for anybody that wants to kind of, write as they go on paper and then transfer that to the app or to the website to enter their scores that way. So let me just pause here and see, are there kind of any questions on this information so far? And again, all of this is in the packet, so you'll be able to review all of this over the next 2 weeks. But any questions so far? Nope. Okay. So The next thing I want to just show is what the actual assignments will look like. And so, like I said, I'm still working to finalize those, but I will just show you an example. Sorry, I can't. Is there a question? Let's see. Claire, can you read off? I can't see the chat. Can you read off any questions we might have?
Sure. Should you wait for the transition period before starting the next talk? For the judge transition?
Yeah, if you're, I just kind of build that into the time frame, but if you're done and ready to go, you can go. I know for posters, it takes time to walk through the exhibit hall to get to the next poster. So that's what that transition time is. But it's also for orals in case the student didn't get their slides loaded or something like that. But yeah, feel free. That's at your discretion. But if you're on schedule and can go back to back to back and you don't need that time, that's not a problem. So good question. Any other questions?
Iris, I have a question.
Yes.
I am Ram Alagan from Alabama State University. Could you please explain the orientation of the poster? It should be a portrait or it should be landscape, or can be both?
It doesn't matter. We just gave them dimensions. So it's typically standard posters are landscape, but we weren't that prescriptive. As long as it just fits the dimensions, it can be.
It's okay then. Okay,
Yeah.
so 3x4. Okay.
Yeah, so we gave them the dimensions, but that's on our guidelines that they sent when they first submitted their abstract. But yeah, so we just gave them the dimensions that it has to be. Mary Ann,
Okay.
I'm sorry, did you have another question? I can't see this. Did that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
I got it. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Mary Ann?
Hi, Iris. Just a quick question, and I'm sorry if I missed this. So when you're talking about the timing for the posters and the schedule, are the judges going to have a specific schedule of posters that they have to follow, or do we just?
You'll have, as every year you have the spreadsheet, and you'll have all the spreadsheet for all the oral assignments, one for all the posters, and then you actually have a PDF of the presentation schedules. I'm just finish it. Yeah, but you'll have all that, copies of all of it.
Yeah, so my question is something different. I understand. Yeah, my question is when you were talking about the timing of going through the posters and going to the next poster, do we just go to the posters in whatever order we want that we're assigned to, or are you saying we go in a specific order?
No, for the orals, the abstracts will be listed in a row.
Yeah,
so we like you to go in order, but sometimes the students aren't there, so things happen. But yes, we would like you to go in order. But for posters, because they're all over the exhibit hall, they don't have to go in order. You just have to get through all those assigned posters in that session slot. Yeah, so the posters don't have to go in order.
Okay, that's the same as it always has been. I was just confirming that it hadn't changed. Thanks so much.
That's a good question. And I don't know who's next. Constantine?
Yes. So I just have like two questions. One, I know I usually do judge for the Eisenhower, and they have almost the same exact instructions that you provided. Now, I do notice there that sometimes the students, even though you tell them, well, we're giving you a 4x3, sometimes students come up with posters that are maybe 3x3 or 2x3. Is that fine, or does it have to be exactly a 3x4?
Yeah, as long as it's legible and okay for the judges, it's fine. Like, they never all follow the instructions.
Well, I mean, because some students say like, well, I couldn't print it. It wasn't really good if I did 3x4, but 3x3 looks nice or whatever. I'm just saying that.
As long as it fits on the board, which it should, and it's legible to the judges, that's fine. But that's a good.
Okay. And my second question, when are you going to submit like everyone's assignments just so that we know ahead of time?
Yeah, that's what I mentioned at the beginning. I'm still working on those.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get those done by end of day tomorrow, Monday at the latest. And I will send those in the spreadsheet that I'm going to show you. So yeah, so at the beginning, I mentioned I'm still trying to work through all of the assignments. I will email those to all of the judges, so you'll see the spreadsheets, and then our Pongos team will spend the next week or so uploading those assignments, but I will send you the spreadsheet so you all have that while they are working on uploading those. Any other questions? I can't see the chat. So Claire,
Right, I have one. Sorry, it's actually related to the one that Nancy has in the chat, I think. So I apologize, Nancy, if I'm not getting this right. So do we go together? Like, do all the judges go together to the poster, or are we individually going to the students' posters?
yeah, so judges will be assigned in groups of anywhere from 3 to 5. So you will all judge posters as a group. And then once you get done, we'll have like purple stickers to indicate posters that have already been judged, so you don't judge them twice. But you will do, all judges will work in teams. For orals, we'll have probably about 3 in a group, because you have to deliberate. And then for posters, it'll be anywhere from 3 to 5. Because the biological sciences have so many subcategories, I usually assign more for those. But posters will have anywhere from 3 to 5 judges in a team.
Great, thank you very much.
There's one more question in the chat, and that is if judges will have the opportunity to review the poster ahead of judging.
No, they can review the abstract because those would be on the abstract locator, but the students bring their poster to ERN and put it on the board. So we won't see that until they bring it because it's in person. Good question. Any other questions? Okay, so any other questions on what I've shared?
Yeah, I just put one in chat. I can only partially attend, and I want to know who is the committee leader, so that you can arrange me during my stay. I only attend one night and one morning.
Okay, are you a volunteer judge or a paid judge? Are you one of the people that indicated you can volunteer on general registration?
At the moment, I did. It seems that I'm a judge, and I did not read carefully.
Did you check the box volunteer judge on general registration? When you registered, did you just volunteer to be a judge?
Yes, under CVET registration.
Okay, okay, so we'll fill in with volunteer judges as needed. So it's not a problem if you can only stay for a day or two. That's not a problem at all. Any other questions? Very good questions. Did I miss any questions, Claire?
Nope, that's all from the chat.
Okay, I got all the hands. Okay.
Iris, another quick question. Hello?
Yes.
Could you please explain to us, how do you select the judges for the particular poster or particular sessions?
Yeah.
Should we say that I'm interested in this particular?
Yep. So back in October, when I invited so we have paid judges, and then we're filling in with volunteer judges who were already attending ERN and indicated that they would like to volunteer. So for paid judges, they are considered consultants. When I invited judges in October, and I typically have a running list from year to year, I also invite new judges. I had all judges complete a judge expertise form with all of the different disciplines that they can judge in areas that they have expertise in, and that's how I select judges. It also depends on the number of abstracts that were accepted in that discipline. If we didn't get any in forensic sciences, then I won't need any forensic science judges. I can say the number of abstracts that were accepted compared to 2020 is a lot less. In 2020, we had over 1,000 submitted, and about maybe 600 posters and 200 orals were accepted. This year, we only had 167 posters accepted and maybe 100 total orals for both undergrad and grad. So I choose judges based on how many I need and what discipline, and what disciplines and areas of expertise the judges have.
Okay, thank you.
Iris, there's one more question in the chat.
Mhm.
And they're asking for clarification on if a project will only be judged once. If they see that a project has a check mark, then that means we do not have to judge that project.
For posters, once a poster is judged, we'll ask the judge to put a purple sticker or some kind of dot or something to notify that that poster has already been judged. So that's how we know which posters have been judged. They only get judged once by that team.
So that means the students only get to present once? Because isn't there some advantage to them presenting multiple times?
No, we don't have they present once because there will be any one of 4 sessions. That's why we have 4 sessions, 4 presentation sessions. So they all get judged once, whether it's oral or posters. We don't have the bandwidth to have them present multiple times.
Right, but I mean, for a poster,
Hey,
if they're presenting for 10 minutes and the session is quite a bit longer, any one student could present multiple times and we would still all get around to everybody.
No, there's only one presenter, one student, whether it's oral or poster, and they present one time to a group or team of judges. Because we have so many to get through in that short time, they can only present once. Any other questions?
Hi there, I had my hand up. I just
Sorry,
want,
go ahead.
is that all right?
Yes.
Yeah, so 2 quick questions. Do you know for what reason? Like, so you said that it's down to only about 250 presenters. Are there more from 600? Is that right?
Yeah, it just depends. A lot of students weren't coming last year due to the pandemic, so we've had a lot less due to pandemic. We leave that to the external abstract reviewers that I select. A lot of it was quality issues, so poor quality. So, but I defer to my external experts that I choose to select the abstract. So it's a number of reasons. It's the pandemic, refusing to get vaccinated, per AAA's policy, and quality. So it's a number of factors.
Okay, thank you very much.
Anybody else? Anything in the chat or any hands raised that I don't see? Very good questions. Okay, so then I will now.
I think there's somebody asked the parking problem. I also have the same question. How about you? Any?
Yes, I will.
About parking.
Yep, I will get to that shortly. Let's see. Okay, so now I just want to briefly show an example so you can see what the assignment sheets will look like once you get those. So, all right, so this is an example of the spreadsheet from 2020. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the spreadsheet with the assignments I made for the 2022 conference. So you'll see a column where I have to determine the number of total awards that each of these categories will receive. And again, that depends on how many were accepted. And I do it this way so I can give the judges kind of discretion on If they want like just one first place, or if they want a first, second, and third, it's up to you all to deliberate and decide, but you'll at least know the total number of awards that you will have to work with. And then it'll be the discipline, and you'll also see the session, whether it's 1, 2, or 3. And this is for oral, so you'll see the room, and then you'll see the list of abstract numbers. I typically ask judges to go in order if they can. But you can decide on that, and then you'll see the list of judges in the last column. So you'll see your team of who you're working with, and you'll see all the abstract numbers. And the abstract locator is done. I think that was done a few weeks ago. So if you want to pull up their abstract ahead of time, you feel free to do that. So this is an example of what the 2020 assignments were for orals. Any questions? And I will pull up the assignments for posters from 2020 just to give you an example. Boo?
Just a quick question about this. I have a student who's presenting, so that will be cross-checked, so there won't be a conflict of interest.
Are you a paid judge or volunteer judge?
I'm a volunteer judge.
Okay. We'll follow up later so you can let us know, because we don't know from the volunteer pool who we're actually using. So we got over 120 volunteers. We may only need a few of those. So you might not wind up judging anyway, but definitely let us know once we have the assignments. And I explained that in the beginning, but let me go over that again. So we had about 120 volunteers volunteer to judge. We may only need a few of those people. So after we get the abstracts assigned, then Jonathan will fill in from the volunteer pool, and he'll contact them directly on who he might need from the volunteer pool. So we might need only 5 or 10 from that volunteer pool. So if it turns out that you are selected, then you can let us know whether you have a conflict, and we'll definitely adjust you for that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, so let me pull up the poster assignments from 2020 just to give you an example of what that will look like when you get it. And here are the assignments from 2020. So again, the same format. You'll have the first column with the number of awards, the discipline, the session, the abstract numbers, and then you'll also see all of the judges that were assigned in that group and any other notes that might be there. So it'll be the same format when I get done with the assignments. And like I said, I will email those to all of the paid judges. And then again, after that, Jonathan will determine if he needs to fill in with any volunteers. So you'll notice here where I say +1 volunteer, that means Jonathan will slot in someone from the volunteer pool. Okay, let me pause here and see if there are any other questions. Any questions in the chat or hands that I might not have seen? Okay, I will hand it off to Christy and Don from Pongos now to explain the Judge app. There's now a website, and then we'll end with Jonathan, and Teresa to kind of go over how the awards ceremony. This used to be like 4 hours, and with our new system, I finally got it down to about an hour and a half by having just one judge represent for their discipline, because all the judges you're so awesome, everybody likes to speak for like 30 or 40 minutes. So we've gotten this process down to a science and cut out about half the time for that awards ceremony. But I'll let Jonathan explain that process after Pongos, and then we'll open it up again to any questions or anything that I might have gone over that wasn't clear, or anything that you'd like more detail or information about. And again, all of this is in the packet. The only thing I'm trying to finalize is the assignments. And once I get that done, you'll get an email with all of those. We'll also have hard copies of all of this in the judge room as well. And again, the judge room, that's where you kind of hang out for the whole time. We'll have a printer there. We'll have 2 laptops there. And then we'll have each table with a tent card for the disciplines. And then we'll have all of these hard copies and handouts there for you. Please, please, this scoring process is an online process. So please bring your laptop or your whatever device, your phone, your tablet or iPad, but we will have 2 laptops on hand in case somebody, just can't bring a device. But definitely please bring your own device, and then we'll have 2 laptops there as well. And Chrissy and Don will be there to assist anybody that's having, problems or issues or need help with the app or the website. And again, like I said at the beginning, we'll have hard copies of the scoring form for people that still want to write on paper or hard copy, and then you can just transfer those later once you get back to the judging room. And I typically have like water, coffee, tea throughout the whole time. And like I said, you also have lunch on that Saturday during your deliberation. And then again, you'll get all the meals that are included in the plenaries. Yes, as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm still working on the judging assignments. I'm not done. I'm not done with them. I'm still working to finish those. I'm hoping to get those done by like end of day tomorrow or by Monday. So I'm still working through those. I have not finished them yet. Okay, so,
yes, I just wanted to confirm, you did say the app was iPad friendly.
Yes, I'm going to actually, great segue, Angela. I'm going to hand over to Chrissy and Don now.
Dawn's gonna present the, it's a website this year. It's not an app. So you'll be able to just open up the website.
Did everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I am going to show you what the app's going to look like. Right here is a judges button. So if you're what's going to happen is this is going to say log in, and if you're not logged in, then you'll have to log in, and we're going to give everyone an account in the next couple of days. And so once you do log in, you'll see this judges button, and that will give you information on the left-hand side for you to score the different abstracts. So we're going to pre-assign abstracts to everybody. And right now I'm just using the 2020 abstracts and also just a test judge. So yours will look a little different, but anyway, when you click on my abstract summary, it's going to give you a summary of all your assigned abstracts. And this will help you order them and decide which room to go to. And then if you want to get more details about those abstracts, you just click here. And this will give you the title, more information, and you can actually click on the title and it'll take you to the abstract itself. Again, these are from 2020, so these are not the abstracts you'll be judging at when we go to the conference. So if you're ready to judge one of these abstracts, you can just click create new evaluation, or you can go ahead and view the abstract here. And you can do that all ahead of time. You can even create your evaluations ahead of time. So create evaluations will be in the full detailed abstract, but it'll also be in this summary page. So it's summary page allows you to look at them all. So just for a test, I'm going to create an evaluation on this first one. And basically it's very similar to the sheet that I showed you earlier. And so there's a couple of checkboxes here, and also there's a judge conflict checkbox. Then there's, your scoring of 1 to 5. And I'm just going to put 1 in. And you can add a comment, you can say if it's complete. So when you click submit, and then you go back to my abstracts, it should show you now that there's an abstract there. You're not complete. You can continue to edit it. You can click on it. And so an easy way to do this is maybe just to click on save draft of all your abstract of all your evaluations before you start. So they'll all be there ready for you. And at that point, you can click on your evaluations and you can see that I probably did one before we logged in, but there's a couple of evaluations here. And if you want to go back, you can just click edit and you can go back and fix it. Then this little button right here is just for your own information. So when you look at them, you can see that it's complete instead of just that it's submitted. So that could be helpful to you. There's also a report that will kind of summarize all the abstracts that you've judged, and it'll be a summary of all the different criteria to help you out. So let me go back to the abstract page. Just want to point something out. So when you're looking at somebody's abstract, you will see at the bottom that either to create, if you already have an evaluation, then you just click edit. You don't really want to create a second one. But everyone else, if you're not a judge, you will not see this. So this is just judge information only. Are there any questions?
I have a quick question. Once you submit your abstract, can you go, can you go back and edit it, or you can't edit it anymore?
You can edit it as many times as you want.
Even after you say it's complete?
Yes.
Okay, great, thanks.
It's just kind of like for your information that it's complete, that your evaluation is complete. So that way, because most people are going to have like 10, 20 of these to judge, and it can get a little confusing which one you were judging and which one you were done with.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Are there any other questions?
There are a few questions in the chat. The first one being, are smartphones compatible for the website?
Yes, as long as your smartphone is good at clicking buttons and clicking links, you should be fine.
And are there instructions or help on the site, or should we reach out to Chrissy if we have questions on how to navigate?
I just put an answer to that in chat. We'll send out the instructions when we send the login information for everyone. And they'll also be on the website when you first log in. You'll see them on the main judges page. And I also see, when are we getting our assignments? We, as soon as Iris sends them to us, we will be sending, we'll be loading those in and sending the login information for everybody.
Yeah, for those who missed the beginning, I am still working through these. I just have not gotten them done yet. So as soon as I get them done, I will hand them off to Chrissy and Don, who will upload them. But while they are working on uploading them for the website, I will email you the spreadsheets when I'm done. I'm working as quickly as I can. Amelia? Camelia, you had a question?
Any other questions? I think somebody raised their hand.
Camelia, did you have a question? You raised your hand.
Iris, can you hear me? Okay, so I have to go. I have to go teach a class. When we originally assigned this, I didn't have a teaching schedule, but now I have a class that's sitting here looking at me, and so
Don't
I have to
worry.
go.
We're
But-
recording this and we'll go over the same info again at the Insight in-person judge orientation. I just wanted to go through this virtually
Everything was
first.
very logical and easy to follow. You guys have done a good job, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in DC.
Thanks, good, hoping it good, looking forward to see you again. Yeah, we'll go over this again at the on-site orientation, and we will send this recording as well.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Camelia. Thanks. So I'll pause here for any questions about anything. I can't see the chat, so, or and all the hands that may be raised. So I'll pause here before I hand it over to Jonathan. Any other questions that I missed? Anything not clear? Anything we didn't go over? Okay, I don't see any hands. Okay, I will pass it over to Jonathan. I think Jonathan, you're still on the phone. He's our lead judge and has been with us at the beginning of ERN. So he'll kind of go over that awards banquet process. He'll also be leading the orientation on site on Thursday. I will pop in to say hello and greet everyone, and then be in the other 25 places I need to be on that day, but I will pop in to say hello. But Jonathan and Teresa will be leading that judge orientation. They'll also be overseeing the process. That's the question. Any questions? Claire, can you read anything from the chat that may be coming in?
Nothing in the chat right now.
Okay. Okay, if there are no questions, I'll pass it over to you, Jonathan. Jonathan, are you still joining us by phone? Jonathan. Let's see if I see him. Jonathan, are you with us?
I think he's muted right now.
Hmm.
I see his number. I think he's muted.
Okay, I think you're the 912, but you're on mute.
Let me see if I can call him.
I see his number if that's the 9.
Okay. He's having a bit of an audio issue. I'm gonna try and hopefully see if we don't get a background, but can you all hear, say something?
Hey, can y'all hear me okay, Dr. Wagstaff?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Sorry about that. Still having some technical issues on this end. I don't understand why I'm unmuted here, but you still can't hear me, but I can hear you. Okay. All right. So thanks again, Dr. Wagstaff, for including us again this year for ERN 2023. We appreciate it. We always enjoy participating in this conference. I think it's the premier conference for STEM students across the country. So thank you again. And thanks and welcome to Dr. Shakespeare. Dr. Teresa Shakespeare, for joining us, her first time at ERN as assistant lead judge. So thank you, Dr. Shakespeare. And I want to say welcome to all of the returning judges and all of the new judges. Thank you for participating and volunteering your time and talents. It's much needed. Okay, so it's just a couple of things that I want to go over. Dr. Wagstaff did an excellent job of briefing you on most of the things that we're going to be doing. Just a couple of things that I'll reiterate on. When you arrive, we're going to be separated by disciplines. So, right, you're going to be judging, as Dr. Wagstaff explained, you're going to be judging as teams, right? So you're going to be judging per discipline. So we are going to set up the tables in the judging room by disciplines. So look for the table tent with your discipline. We think it'll be much easier for you to find each other because some of you may not even know each other. So we'll have table tents on the tables so that you can sit together as by discipline, and that way it'll make it an easier process when you are going to the session and then coming back to the judging room to deliberate. You know where you need to sit, you know where your colleagues will be, okay? Okay, next, the one thing we want you to know is that once you have finished all of your judging for the session or sessions and you're ready to give an award, you can do that as soon as possible. Like if you have an award, one award that's going to be given for sessions 1 and 2, and that's it, then after sessions 1 and 2, you can go ahead and make your choice and then supply the name and additional information of the awardees to myself and Dr. Shakespeare. Okay, so as soon as you know your winners, you can let us know. But if you have to wait until the end of all 4 sessions, that's fine too. Most will be doing that. But the one thing we need you to know, as Dr. Wagstaff said, we want to try to be finished by 2 p.m. at the latest on Saturday, because there's a lot that has to happen between when we are finished with the judging and the awards banquet. So at the very latest, we need to be finished by 2 o'clock. And as stated earlier, we'll have that lunch from 12 to 2:30, I believe it is, or 12:30 to 2. So that'll be an opportunity.
12:30 to 2.
12:30 to 2.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. That'll be an opportunity to have lunch as well as to do any final deliberations and then get your results in. So one of the things that we want to make sure you understand is that we're relying on the judges to tell us who your winners are. Okay, so there'll be a sheet we'll pass around, and basically on that sheet you will tell us, okay, here's discipline, here's the sessions, and here are the winners. And then on that sheet you would indicate, depending upon how many awards Dr. Wagstaff is allocating for that discipline, you would say on that sheet whether, okay, we have a first, a second, and a third, or we have a tie for first and a second. You will we're giving the judges the leeway to tell us that, okay? And so you will let us know that as soon as your sessions are finished and you're ready to announce winners, okay? And we'll provide you a form to do that. Okay, and let's see. For the banquet itself, as Dr. Wagstaff indicated, we would like to know ahead of time the judges who would like to announce the awards, because it just makes for a much more organized and smoother process. So we will also have a sign-up sheet for that, for those judges that want to announce the awards in your discipline for the awards banquet. So we will have that up at the table in the judges' room. So please keep that in mind. If you know that you want to be part of the ceremony to announce the awards for your discipline, please let us know Thursday or Friday. Okay, great. And what's going to happen during the banquet, Dr. Shakespeare and myself, we will call you up to either stage right or stage left, and you will wait there. We'll hand you the envelopes, and you will wait until your discipline is called. You go up to the stage, announce the awards, and then and then move off stage. And one of the things that we like to do is announce all of the names. If you have like 3 awardees, if you don't announce the first awardee and then wait for them to get to the stage, announce all 3, with a little pause in between for each for applause. But go announce all 3 and then wait for all 3 to come up to the stage, and then a picture will be taken, and then we can all you'll exit the stage, and then we'll go to the next discipline. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? I believe that is mainly it. And as Dr. Wagstaff said, we'll contact you if you are a volunteer judge, and we need you. We will contact you and let you know where we've put you into the schedule. Okay. Dr. Shakespeare, did I miss anything that you can think of? Dr. Wagstaff?
I think you covered everything that we've discussed. I'm still new to the game, so Dr. Wagstaff.
We have this down to a science. Yeah, thanks, Jonathan. The only thing I'll mention is that during that Saturday lunch/deliberation from 12:30 to 2, Jonathan, that's the time to finalize who you want to choose to be the rep for the discipline, because it may be 4 or 5 judges that want to do that. So I'll defer to you to pick that person and confirm that all during that session. The reason we have to get that done by 2 is because our team prints all of the certificates in real time to hand out to the students. So that it takes time to get all those certificates, prize money, all of that printed out before the 5:30 plenary. So that's why that has to be get done at 2, so that we can start working on printing all of that out. So whoever the 14 judge rep leads are, Jonathan and Teresa will confirm that during that lunch deliberation on Saturday. And then when we go into the plenary that evening at 5:30, there'll be 14 chairs up front. And then there'll be a packet of the certificates for each discipline on the chair. So that's where you will be up front next to the plenary stage, 1 chair for each discipline. Some of them will be combined, as I mentioned at the beginning, because we have very few typically presentations in like science and math ed, social sciences. So some of those will be combined. But basically, you'll see anywhere from 10 to 14 chairs up front that will be for the judge that's going to represent their discipline or disciplines. And then their packet of certificates will be sitting on the chair for you, so we can go pretty quickly. So you'll just go up to the stage, announce them, the students will come up, we'll take some pictures, and then we'll go on to the next in order. So that's the only thing I'll mention about that. Anything else, Jonathan or Teresa, before we open it back up for any more questions?
I think we're good. Teresa, Dr. Shakespeare?
Yeah, nothing from me. I think we're good.
Okay. All right, so I'll pause here again for any other questions or anything you thought about that might not be clear, or anything else I can answer. Thank you so much again in advance. This is a lot of work. It's a ministry for me. It's just a lot of work, and I do the work of 4 people, so I'm behind on my kind of internal deadlines of getting this all done, because I had to take on logistics and onboard 2 new folks and a bunch of stuff. So I am trying to get these assignments done as quickly as I can, but I definitely want to thank you all for agreeing to be a judge. Hopefully everybody booked their travel. We have hotel rooms for you, and again, that $500 registration fee covers all of your meals, all of the plenary sessions, all of that. After the ERN conference, we will send you some information about reimbursing parking, ground transportation, any of that. For paid judges, if you are not local, i.e. within 50 miles of DC, you'll receive a travel stipend card of either $200 or $250 when you arrive. That is meant to reimburse you ahead of time for like baggage fees and any of those incidentals. That's only for non-local people. If you are local, we have to reimburse you through a travel expense report afterwards. But I am covering all charges, any expenses that you incurred, parking, ground transportation, baggage fees, any meals that aren't included in the conference. We will do all of that after the conference. So just a couple folks I want to highlight. I'm really excited to see Terry now, who is my undergrad chemistry professor at UNCG, Spartan Pride. Awesome, amazing. My inorganic professor that I did research with, and I saw Ms. Cheryl Austin up here. If you are still up here, I want to recognize you too. I hope you're still up here. Anyway, she was my high school chemistry teacher that I still work with in my hometown of Goldsboro, North Carolina. It encouraged me to go into chemistry, so I'm glad to be able to bring her back as a judge. And then we have Mary Ann Cecily, Tony Renee, two of my support group here in the DMV, and mentors, longtime retirees of the NIH. If you all could say hello, and then each and every one of you are special to me in some way. So I just want to thank all of you for being here, especially my North Carolina folks that I was really happy that I was able to bring again this year. Longtime judges, thank you all to all the returning judges, all the new judges. We have Daryl and Linda Davis from my Nova Shade network, so all of my different networks. So I'm just really grateful that I'm able to bring you all in and just highlight your expertise and all of your years of mentoring to help me in this work that I consider ministry, of supporting these students in their research goals and their efforts to be prepared for global careers in STEM. So I just want to thank you all ahead of time. Anything else, Claire? Any other questions I might be missing?
No, I think we covered them all in the chat.
And I don't think I see any hands. Nope. Anything in the chat?
I did want to say, Dr. Iris, this is Angela. As one of those long-term judges, I always get excited every year. This conference is amazing for anyone who's done large scientific presentations. It mimics the exact thing that we're used to doing, and when we attend those professional scientific presentations. And so this forum, this platform that allows these students to get this jump start in their career and see what real science is like in the real world out here is just commendable. So I always just get psyched when it's time for this conference. So it's so good to be able to return back in person this year. So good job for all the work you do.
Thank you. I'm limping to the finish line, but I'll be able to celebrate after I take some time off and catch my breath. But thank you so much. There's Ms. Austin. Did you want to say anything? Thanks so much, Angela. Ms. Austin, did you want to say anything? No. Okay.
There is one more question in the chat, Iris, asking you to repeat the information about incidentals for folks that are more than 50 miles away.
Yeah, if you are not local, so outside of more than 50 miles, and multiple is on the cusp, but more than 50 miles from DC, per AAAS policy, you will receive a travel stipend card. It's either $200 or $250. That is meant to cut down so I don't have to do 1,000 travel expense reports. So just a way to give you money up front when you arrive. All VIPs receiving that travel stipend card, you receive that card, and that is meant to cover all of these incidentals that we would have reimbursed afterwards. So ground transportation, parking, baggage claim, meals not included in the conference on a per diem rate. You'll receive that card when you arrive. For anybody local to the DMV, we will have to process you via a travel expense report after the conference, but we're still I'm still covering all of those same costs. It just can't be through the travel stipend card. We have to do a travel expense report for you if you are within 50 miles of DC. All of that you receive after the conference. So, but keep all your receipts and we'll just ask you to submit that after the conference and we'll process those. Good question. Any other questions? Check the chat. I think we caught everything in the chat. Okay. Oh, I don't know if we answered this, but yes, not every judge will judge all 4 sessions. It depends on the number of abstracts we receive in that discipline. That's what dictates it, and the disciplines that we need judges in. So not every judge will judge all 4 sessions. You may only judge session 1 and then have the rest of the time is free time. You may only judge session 2 and not judge 1, 3, and 4. So it just depends on where we have abstracts in those categories. And because the life sciences have so many subcategories, I'm trying to group abstracts and judges based on your discipline. So if you have expertise in cancer, I'm trying to group you with all the cancer abstracts and other folks in cancer. So I'm trying to really group you and assign you based on your expertise, and also to match that with the abstract. So the life sciences has probably 20 different subcategories that I'm really trying to match closely with your expertise areas. The other categories really don't have, the other disciplines don't have those subcategories. Engineering and chemistry also have a few subcategories, but not like life sciences. So I'm just wading through all of that. I can tell you the folks that are doing science and math education and the social sciences, you will be together combined as one group for undergrad and grad because we had so few in those categories. So that's definitely something that we'll be combining, most likely combining data science and math, undergrad and grad. But yeah, so those are some that we probably most likely will be combining. And I'm trying to get through those as quickly as possible. So I will stop here unless there are any other questions. If not, thank you all so much. We will send you the recording of this. You have the packet of information. And then again, look out for an email from me that has the spreadsheet while Pongos is working on uploading those. And then I'm looking forward to seeing you all at ERN at the orientation at 4 p.m. on Thursday. I know not everybody's flight will be in at that time, but that judgment will be open throughout the duration of the ERN conference. So feel free to hang out there at any time and just come whenever you arrive. It's no problem. I know not everybody will be in by 4, but we will be there from about 4 to 5:45. I'll come in and say hello. And then we start the plenary at 6. So I look forward to seeing all of you and thank you all again in advance. See you at ERN.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great week.